Jungkook entered the kitchen, rubbing his sleepy eyes. His foot stopped on the cold floor. The smell of toast and coffee filled the air. There she was, his wife, Wayan, moving around the kitchen, humming softly while making a breakfast. Without saying a word, Jungkook walked behind her and wrapped his arms around her, his face in her. Morning, he mumbled, his voice husky and tired. Wayan turned her head slightly, and her smile faded when she saw his red, swollen eyes. Jungkook, did you even last night? She asked softly, cupping his cheek. He just smiled lazily. Had some work to finish. Don't worry, I'm fine. Fine, she repeated with a small frown. You have been saying that for a week now. You are overworking yourself, Cook. You look exhausted. He sighed, pressing a to her temple. I cannot take a break right now. There is a board meeting and a new project. Van turned fully toward him, crossing her arms. No, you are going to the hospital today. Van, Jungkook cut off by Van. She glared him, narrowing her eyes, and that was enough. Jungkook raised his hand in defeat, a faint smile tugging at his. Okay, okay, you win. Later that morning, the couple sat in the hospital, Van holding a Jungkook's hand while the doctor checked his reports. Mr. Jeon, the doctor said calmly, your is showing a signs of severe fatigue. You proper rest. If you keep pushing like this, it'll affect your health seriously. Ryan looked at Jungkook silently saying, I told you so. Jungkook chuckled softly, trying to act unbothered. Doctor, I'm totally okay, just a bit tired, that's all. But the doctor shook his head. No more excuses, at least take a few days off. After the checkup, Van and Jungkook left the hospital. On the way, she sat quietly, her hand resting on her, while Jungkook drove. Why are you quiet? He asked, glancing at her. I'm worried about you, Cook, she whispered. I don't want you to fall. He smiled faintly, reaching over to hold her hand. You worry too much, Mrs. Chiona. Because you are my husband, she said softly. He did not say anything after that, just squeezed her hand gently. After reaching the home, Jungkook leaned closer and her forehead. I'll be fine. I'll call you once I reach the company, okay? Ryan looked at him with a concern. Promise you'll take it easy today? Promise, he said, smiling before driving away. Though down both them knew he'd still end up overworking himself. In the quiet afternoon, Van sat on the couch with her phone pressed in her ear. Her voice soft but with worry. Ryujin, her close friend, could sense it right away. Van, what's wrong? You sound tense, she asked gently. Fan sighed, staring at the cup of tea, growing cold in her hands. It's Jungkook. He's been working a non-stop these days. Even though the doctor told him to rest, he still went to the office right after. I'm scared he'll fall again. Ryujin hummed thoughtfully. I see. But you know, she said, her voice, her tone suddenly turning a playful. There is a one way to make him stress-free. Van blinked in confusion. What way? Ryujin chuckled. You really don't get it, do you? I mean, Van froze for a second. Her cheeks. Really? She asked shyly, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, Ryujin replied, laughing a little. Trust me, it works. When my husband overworks himself, I scold him first, then make sure he relaxes properly later. After that, like, and does not even wake up until the morning. Van covered her face with her hand, embarrassed yet curious. I don't know. Regine grinned through the call. Then do one thing tonight. Something he likes. Something that makes him lose his mind a little. She teased. And if you really want to do, Trust me, after that, he won't even think about work until the morning. Ryan let out a small laugh, still flustered. You are impossible, Eugene. I'm just helping you, bestie, Eugene said cheerfully. Now stop worrying so much. Just take care of him in your way. Okay, Anne murmured, her tone softening. Good girl, Eugene said with a grin in her voice. Now go, get ready for tonight. And don't forget what I said. Van smiled shyly and nodded, even though her friend could not see her. All right, I'll think about it. Think less, do more. Eugene teased before cutting the call. As the screen went dark, Van sat still for a moment, her heart fluttering. She could not help but think of Jungkook's tired eyes and that soft smile he gave her in the morning. Maybe Eugene was right. Maybe tonight she had to make him forget all his stress just for a while. Van stood before her open closet, finger brushing over the hangers. She sighed softly, remembering her Eugene words. Her eyes then caught something at the far end. It was the set Jungkook had once gifted her for their. A small blush crept across her cheeks. He really liked this, she whispered before pulling it out. After changing, she glanced in the mirror, heart racing, face firm. She looked different, maybe enough to make Jungkook forget all his stress. She checked the time. He would be home soon. A playful idea crossed her mind. What if he saw me right in the under? The thought made her blush, and she smiled slyly and went into the. Meanwhile, Jungkook arrived home, loosening his tie, exhaustion clear in his movements. Ryan, he called softly, but there was no reply. He looked around the living room, empty, a faint sound reached his ears, the steady rhythm of water running upstairs. He murmured, a tiny smile tugging at his. He climbed the stairs quietly and reached their bedroom, pushing the door open. No one there, but the door was slightly ajar, light spilling out along with the sound of water. Curious, he walked closer and peeked in gently, then froze. Hours later, the night had turned quiet. The only sound left in the room was Jungkook's soft, steady. He had finally fallen peacefully, without the constant tension they had a shadow him for weeks. Wan looked down at him, resting in her arms, his head pressed against her. His face looked so calm. Now his usual frown line softened. For the first time in a long while, he seemed at ease. A small smile curved on her. She brushed the trimmed hair away from his forehead and whispered. She placed a gentle on his head, holding him a little tighter before closing her own eyes. When the morning sunlight slipped through the curtains, Van stared first. Her eyes fluttered open, and she found Jungkook still sleeping soundly in her arms. He is relaxed. Even her heart melted at the sight. She had not seen him like this in months. No tension, no sudden phone calls, no restless turning, just peace. She smiled softly, tracing her fingers through his hair. So this is what truly makes him rest, she thought to herself, leaning closer and whispered, now I know how to make you stop overworking, Mr. John. Jungkook mumbled something half asleep, his arm tightening around her instinctively. Van chuckled quietly and let him rest.